373 competitive games for the Red Devils. Gary was part of 2 FA Cup winning teams in 83 and 85, and also made 1 European semi-final. Gary played for England on 2 occasions, and enjoyed playing for one of England's most successful managers, Sir Bobby Robson. He probably would have played many more times, but had to battle for his place with 2 of the greatest English keepers of all time, in the form of Peter Shilton and Ray Clements. He was injured in the 1986 Mexico World Cup on duty for England, and retired a year later, at the young age of just 28. But only after playing for the new manager, Sir Alex Ferguson, we learned so many of his leadership skills from. During his time in Manchester, he completed a BSc in physics part-time, and subsequent to his retirement, he achieved an MBA from Henley in Oxford, where he focused on leadership skills. After retirement, Gary returned to South Africa, where he played part-time for 2 more years, and since then has become one of the top TV soccer presenters in South Africa, as well as being an ambassador to the South African 2010 World Cup tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please give a warm welcome to Gary Bailey.
Thanks, Rocky, for the intro. I've got to say, delighted to be here at the opening of your academy. I think it's an awesome setup, so a round of applause for Rocky for putting this in. As Rocky said, this is one of the presentations that he's going to be offering, something that we do together. It started many years ago. In fact, when I did my MBA, Rocky was my invigilator, and we got chatting then, and since then we actually talked a lot. And one of the things we said was, what are the 3 or 4 things that make a great leader? And we both wrote down certain things, and it was very similar. And as we were writing them down, I said, you know something? So Alex Ferguson is the embodiment of all these major principles. And that started this particular presentation. I'm going to just give you a brief overview of as we go along. It's something I've been doing quite a lot. I was in Leeds yesterday for Yorkshire Bank presenting this. And the reason why it's so important is because we're in a bit of a downturn of an economy. There are so many opportunities. And just thinking of Yorkshire Bank yesterday, I don't know if you know, but they have risen up in the bank standings hugely since the economy's had the downturn. Other banks have been virtually written off, and they have risen in stature. So there is opportunities, and there are many opportunities for businesses to grow. I think Microsoft, one of the businesses that started in a downturn economy. So leadership becomes absolutely crucial at this particular time, and good leadership too. What is a leader? A dealer in hope. He or she is a dealer in hope. And that it sounds like a simple thing. There's a lot of good facts and basic training that has to be done to get that leader to be in that position to deal in hope. As we put together with the profs have right here, it's just four principles. We'll make it nice and simple and easy. Something that has strong business skills behind us. What we did was we researched all the business schools around the world and said, what are they teaching? What is leading edge leadership thinking at the moment? And what are some of the sound principles that are important? And that's how we got to our 4 principles, which I will show you in a moment. Why soccer? Because they're pressurized for results. I don't think there's any business in the world where 1/3 of all the CEOs or managers get sacked in the space of 1 season or 1 year. Can you think of any other businesses that are pressurized? So if anybody has to understand leadership principles, it has to be the soccer managers. Whether they study them or whether they know them from a gut feeling, but the way they work with their players and what they do is, I think, the right place to go to learn. And if you're questioning, is Man United a business? Well, here's some of the stats around it. Turnover £350 million, billion capex value. And look at the number of customers or fans, 300 million. I mean, how do you keep that many customers happy? It's a real business. It's at the sort of tough end of the business spectrum. That's why I think whether you follow sport or not, I think it's a good sort of place to go to learn leading edge leadership thinking. I just need to figure out though, before I do go any further, whether I'm surrounded by friend or foe in this room. So, supposing we're in Nottingham area, any Forest fans amongst us? One Forest fan, 2.
Tell you what it was these days.
Things have changed since the Brian Clough days. What about other local teams around here? Anything? Okay, let's ask Man United fans. Yes? Come on. Is that all?
Even Rocky's not, for example.
I'm getting to the next point. Who actually doesn't follow football at all? Okay. So, there's no problem. This is not I'm using football as a myth. That's all I am. It's a business discussion. So if there's any point you want to ask a question as to who is Mourinho or who is Arsene Wenger, please feel free. There's no embarrassment in that at all. I'm just using soccer as the example. So the strategy, and I'm giving you a very shortened version of what is normally a 1-hour keynote speech or normally a 3-hour training session. But the idea would be for the audience to grab those leadership opportunities and to help get you in that frame of mind. A lovely little clip featuring Roberto Carlos, formerly of Real Madrid in Brazil. He was out in the Far East, he saw an opportunity, and he certainly used it to his advantage.